What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be playing some Tristana Rumble. If you guys are familiar with some of my decks in the past, it's kind of a different take on my Tristana Sivir deck, which I ran in the past. And when I first saw Rumble, this was an idea I had, and I just got around to it where I thought Rumble might be a nice fit because Rumble is somewhat easy to level, somewhat straightforward, right? If the deck is built right for him, you can level him pretty consistently, and you are able to activate Absolver with that. And the other synergy is in the champ slot running another multi-region unit. This helps to feed into the Tristana level up. Tristana will also give stats to Rumble, extra impact, which just makes that level up that much easier. And it just gives like more synergy points across the board with the deck, which I really liked. And the main idea with this deck is to, again, just kind of level your champions as much as possible so you can get big Absolver hits with Tristana or Rumble with Spell Shield, which Spell Shield helps to guarantee the level up a lot more often. We also have like the Swarm win con, which with Vandal City Mayor and all the different cheap units that we can develop and swarm with, even Treasure Seeker creating Waking Sands gives you more units that you can just use to put a bunch of pressure on your opponents. And with the impact that we have with Tristana having impact when she's leveled, Rumble having impact when you discard, Tenor with impact, and then also like all the different other cards that you could potentially create, such as like Protoporo. The impact builds up a lot, and you will just get them into a range where you don't need as big of a swing to win. And what that gives you a lot of the times is reactivity, so you don't have to commit all of your spells at once to win. And we run Ruthless Predator, which is just one of my favorite spells in Shurima, and I think it's super underutilized. Really good with quick attack units to just drag into them to get favorable trades. That's why I also love Treasure Seeker. Is just you can drag it into an ephemeral Waking Sand, which with the 5/2 body can pretty much kill anything across the sun in the game. And then one slot I was messing around with a lot, which you will see in the games. The first half of games is not going to have this card. The second half of games will. And I decided I felt like this felt like the better option is double tap. And I was running prior to double tap. I was running the 3 mana spell, which I'm looking to clarify right here. Grappling Hook, right? I had 3 Yordle Squire at the beginning to enable Grappling Hook, but it still didn't feel as consistent. So I ended up going with double tap, which is a pretty cool card in this deck, which you're able to strike your enemy, and if it is a multi-region unit, you're able to strike it twice. Which what this enables in certain rare instances, you could essentially level Rumble from just one strike with the double tap if the unit is really big. And with Rumble having Spell Shield, you can use it to really take out like any threat your opponent can set up with a double strike coming from Rumble. It is so hard to stop. Tristana will only strike once. Like, this is still able to be used with her, but she has such a big body that that'll also be able to kill. And another really cool interaction, which does come into play in time to time in certain games, right, is that when you're attacking, this strike will deal impact. So if you're able to double tap a unit, you can essentially get it for like 2 burn, 2 impact, which can help to close out certain games in certain spots, which is just like really strong. Still messing around with the slot, so you guys try different spells and see like what works for you. And you might not even be a strike spell. I like the idea of a strike spell because it just feeds more into Rumble level up, and I just like having those synergy points and having the potential to level him more. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the right card. You guys try out what feels best for you. And but the way I'm shipping it to you guys, I'm gonna do it with the double tap. We also have a lot of units that create cards. Some of these cards we might not be looking to discard very often, but cards like Bomber Twins almost always is creating bad landmarks, so that just turns into food for Rumble. Telescope creates, Conchologist creates, Mayor if you whiff on it. Essentially, it's like you create cards, and if you hit like a great card for value, that's fantastic, but if you whiff, Rumble can just take care of it, clean out the cards from the hand. Even something like double tap, if it's like a matchup that it's clunky in, you just feed it to Rumble for the Spell Shield, and you know, everything's good in the world. You're also fine kind of discarding so many different cards, because since almost all of your cards are creating other cards. You're never really running out of gas anyways. So even if you have a short hand, if it's all cycling into each other and creating more cards off of it, you're not really like losing value. And Rumble with Spell Shield is like one of the biggest things, especially if you have multiple in hand or if you draw one later down the line, because they do keep the stats or the keywords from the first one. So if you make the 3 discard at the beginning of the game, you draw one at the end game, it will have Spell Shield, which is a great closer when you have like Absolver or something, or you're able to like clear units off the board. And Pokey Stick, just kind of best must-have Vandal City card in the game at the moment. And yeah, that's kind of the deck. I had a lot of fun with it. Felt pretty solid. I'm looking to play it some more. I actually got a good amount of games with it, and yeah, pretty solid win rate. So I'm like happy with the way the concept turned out. Something I've been, like I said, trying to refine a little bit for a while now and mess around with. I think I still want to make some changes to the deck throughout, but I think like the core of the deck is not shifting at all. So I think it's at a good point where I'm just happy to ship it to you guys, and hopefully you guys can try it out and enjoy it and have some success of your own. But hopefully you guys enjoy the games. You guys would do me the favor of subscribing to the channel. Looking to grow the YouTube as much as possible, and every subscription helps make that happen. Also, drop a like on the video, helps with the algorithm, helps with the stats and all of that stuff of that nature. And leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think of the deck. Let me know what you guys think about the videos, if you guys want to see any changes in the future and anything else in particular from me. Always reading the comments, try to respond to literally all of them. And that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoy the games that we have lined up. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright, we are up against Teemo Swain. They're not keeping Absolver. I like a lot of these other units, even though Tristana's going to be pretty slow to get there. Because we haven't drawn any multi-region followers. I think we should be able to find them.
I've never tried this chemical before.
I'll go for a shield. I don't think pushing the damage ever really like does anything for us. Found a mare. Solid pickup. Absolver's hilarious, but I think it's got to be Pokey, especially like in the board state at the moment.
Party member down.
These just trade if I go for that. Exactly. So now Mayor's safe for at least a round. I think it's got to be minion because obviously it's just like repeated value.
I got an idea.
Easy does it.
This is just good for us. Probably would have blocked the 2/2 anyways. I don't think I'd go for value. I think we opened minion.
And wouldn't you know it, I picked the wrong mushrooms.
Although this is moldy region, I think I'd gotta be Trickster. Trickster too good. In a hand where they don't have the infinite value that some of this other stuff is known for, I think we're just better off taking this, and maybe we can get something in the late game. Oh, this is good. Just more multi-region that we just did get to develop pressure with. And the 2/1, like this also incentivizes him to open attack. 2/1 we can Pokey Stick. And if he develops, we can just play this to like trigger again.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
Great? Huh, my foot. Things ain't like they used to be.
Although this means no Pokey,
Get all that?
free blocker for Teemo. face. Respect it. And there it is, leveled Tristana. Still putting on like zero pressure. The issue at the moment.
Blasting off! Bye-bye, bad guys! Firepower solves everything! Let's get him, squad!
I think all of these are safe to swing at the moment. I don't even think I actually want to use a Ruthless here. If we trade 3-3 for Trickster, that's completely cool with me.
Wanna see
We
what
always
he
have
does?
the answer for Teemo anyways.
Whoa, whoa!
We don't want to use the Pokey until Teemo's attacking though, in case he has a second one. There's Absolver. Our beautiful win cons.
My britches and purple berries.
This thing is going to get buffed to a 3-3. Very nice.
Where was I?
Persistence is key.
Just 3 of those anyways. I could just
To the front lines!
kill this and just not really worry about it here. If he doesn't kill this right away,
Push
you get
on
the
with
buff
that
from
heat.
the tenor, like the double impact.
Over.
Probably isn't very good. Gonna go shield here and see if like I force more out of him, right?
Locked, loaded, and ready to rocket!
Okay, so this deals 8, right? 8 across the board, and then Tristana herself is dealing. What is that? 13? Minus 2, 11. Then Pokey kill. Looks good depending on the hand state. I think just the buff looks good here. Culling would have been good, but I have an answer for that, my friend. Now he has to kill like one of the 4-3s or something, and that was like very sick. Clean game.
My squad!
That was pretty nice the way we navigated. Okay, playing against a Braum Swain. All the Swain cards still just gotta play around. I don't think I need Pokey or Absolver. I don't see Pokey netting us like a value. No 1-drops, a little annoying when we're on odds in like a matchup where I feel like they probably don't play any 1-drops. At least for the most part. They're contrary to whatever I just said. Okay,
For a spin.
there it is. Kind of like the Pokey here. The open. clear up the board a bit. Hopefully it dies. Makes my attacks later on kind of cool. It wasn't the best for Rumble, but Tenor's now activated, and I can play this and get the double proc for Tristana. We'll just be one away from the level up. And like I said, it did force an avalanche to kill one unit. I mean, it's to stop 5 damage, so I get it, but that's kind of hilarious.
Brom is on the job.
Got the big Brom. The free mare, somewhat.
This requires my largest official hat. It is easy, see?
I think we gotta just play this out a little bit patient.
Some encouraging words.
Literally just a swing all here. It's fine. I'm not really worried about Prom leveling if that somehow happens. This is a ton of damage. I can't complain. He's ready to activate Absolver. Just have to find it. And we're chipping away. Goes for draw, so he's like not just burning all his mana. And I don't think he's had Flock up until this point, so we'll see if he's just able to find it here.
First we fight. Good luck. Have fun. Is it that charm?
I think the impact is just like better.
What?
Lightning Rush seems very good if he tries to target my Tristana.
Loyalty through conquest.
Blasting off! Bye-bye, bad
I'm probably just gonna like pokey face.
All right, furballs.
See if I can cycle for this card. Freezes, obviously obnoxious. I can give this thing double impact as well. Proto-ski here.
Double team.
Deep breath now.
I think I like something like this, where it just forces him to block Tristana with one of his more valuable units. And then it's like, I could have dragged the other ones, but like,
Stand behind
doing it this
Brom.
way seems sweeter for sure.
Help is on the way.
Yeah, very down with how this is playing out, right?
My friend.
Because I go for the recall, this deals 2, and if I can play Rumble with Spell Shield and double impact, that's all we really need.
Let us get going.
use the Predator to make sure we have the block on the Swain here. He goes for the drag. I think for now we just pass. Okay, so he goes Levy. I get to develop some double impact cards. Like, I think losing second Tristana is okay.
Here comes a new challenger.
Both of these are at 2 impact. This is at 2 impact. We can grant impact. Good. I could even maybe pull another one from the lightning rush, but like this is so wide, impact like across the board is very difficult to stop. This like buff, being able to just re-enable this, it'll go to 4 impact. Like that's actually insane. That's still dead. All right, he's gonna have to just burn literally everything to just even have a chance to live. That's living? Ah, what a shame, dude. He almost had it. Now we're killing by 1,000,000. Sorry, dude. He at least stopped Rumble from getting a killing blow. That was the most important part. GG. Going against a Ping City gamer. The rest looks good. And I think I start with the Squire. And universally just trade with more, right? That was a tough call because the health saves me from like Make It Rain and Parlay. But the shield, or the shield does, I mean. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. But the spear can kill and trade with 2-3 if they have it.
Like you.
I think for now, Proto seems good. Maybe Telescope. I think Telescope actually. So I'm still just trading. Still more multi-region here. I don't think I need to draw because I have so much just card generation. Kind of funny to me the way he kept this back. Probably just level loop. Just getting rid of their top end, which can be quite a nuisance. I don't want to overdevelop into a Twisted Fate red card. I'm gonna say this is just cool here. This is probably a Make It Rain. I think I'm gonna shield for that reason.
You dropped something.
I dropped everything.
Be gone.
Time to get rich.
Looks fantastic. Okay. I don't know why I'm waiting. Well, I do know actually. Never mind. I said it last round and I completely forgot. Why I'm waiting to play the Protos is, yeah, just again, not trying to overdevelop into Twisted Fate, which is looking like he's showing it off here. Sure. Might not even have it then. So that's a very complex way to set that up. More loofs the better.
Comb my mustache.
We'll double up. Crazy. He's able to confirm it here. Have to get a fearsome blocker down. Kind of huge for us here. Tristana's got to be leveled, right?
Why you always carry another pair of goggles?
Close to it. I think this is an opportunity to clear his hand just a little bit more. Another GP down.
Hell, wait up!
We're just looking at this and see what pickup we get. I don't really love any of these at the moment, so I think just Trinket Trade's fine.
Easy does it.
Next round we can go Tristana into just like a ton of different multi-region units. Still pissed about Twisted. He's not played it. He's being very close to the chest with it, which is just annoying me a lot, I'd say even.
Vandal Gunner Tristana going in! Locked, loaded, and ready to rock it!
Didn't know the boss had sent for you.
Don't know much, do ya?
Soft commit with one of these.
I never miss.
Ain't no sport in powder.
Gunners, form up!
I think I'm just gonna look to take this out. Get a potential impact 2 from the barrel. Keep the unit up. If he does nothing here, we're completely fine because we have Pokey Stick to just kind of make sure we don't take any damage. There's a Twisted. Been expecting it for a while now. But had another Protoporo, so it's completely okay.
And wouldn't you know it, I picked the wrong mushroom.
I want to see have here picked. Honestly, better than the Otter here at the moment. Take one of my blockers off the board, but we just go like wider than that, so it's okay. So like just more bodies.
Let's get to it.
Trade. This can trade. This can block. Block. Okay, Tristana's gonna be dead. Hopefully we find another. And we're still like withstanding his damage pretty fine. I mean we have predict, so that's like huge.
Keep fighting!
I'll take another one. We can maybe pokey our way to some better units as well.
Before? All right, furballs, attention!
We killed 2 of his GPs. Jesus. Alright, well there's like his mana for the round. I think I'm gonna just start with 1 in case we find Absolver. Grappling hook. Time for another.
Oh, biscuit!
It's unplayable.
Let's get him, squad.
That way lets me get 11. Then we have the Grumble Slug.
Baby, don't fail me now.
Just discard all of this shenanigans and get a
Adjustments.
big Rumble ready to go. This is risky because he could double up this. But I mean, blocks are forced here, which is good. Double up? I'm concerned about this. So like, I'm not gonna like reward it if it is double up. I'm gonna make him work for it. Oh, this is actually the game. He actually just gave us the game. Because I don't think there's any one card that stops this now. Kind of choked. Like you wouldn't believe there. GG, boy. Okay, Teemo Victor. Keep one drop in Mayor. Mayor normally goes down to Mystic, but still card generation. I think we'll go Health in this matchup. Opportunity, nice pickup.
Got this from a side
I
quest.
think I'll make the trade. And I think we'll play, like, if he offers it, of course. He should. And this way, if he has Ballistic Bot, it either delays it or forces him to let us get 3.
Are you ready?
But it just makes, like, Contra worse attacks. So I think I'd rather do this most of the time. No Ballistic or anything. Crazy. Alright, now we set up Mayor. Just hope for the best. Nothing's getting discounted though at the moment. Maybe not. Maybe I just go Constant. Contra's Seeker. I think Seeker Pokey actually. The no swing with the 2-1 makes 0 sense to me. I'm just gonna get a conch down then. Go group shot, go more removal for cheap.
Let us take a peek
Good.
at life beneath the waves.
Start here.
Flesh is a weakness we must shed.
I could probably swing with the Bomber Twins and the Waking Sands. I could probably just swing all and see what he tries to block. Like, yeah, overall this seems great.
Brilliant design. Analyzing approach.
He gets Faded. Probably one of the worst keywords he could have got.
Publish or perish.
My research!
He's looking kind of soft now. Conch can maybe pull just like a second thing to deal damage, and we're looking
Hello, anyone want to join my party?
primed to take it out. And now it's just take a buff.
What
Sure.
wondrous discoveries await below?
Electroplating completed.
Scout, so low impact at the moment, but can be very scary. Find something to pair it with. I will take a tenor to go as wide as possible.
2, 3, 4. Swiftly. You hold this.
That 2 damage is we start off light.
We're
A
rolling.
bomber. Obelisk is not one of the worst landmarks we can get.
Welcome to the team.
Question is, does he go for prank or hex core now? Oh, trinket trade shenanigans?
Genius in action. Well, just do your best, okay? Obsolete. Nope, 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 nope.
Can't spoil the surprise.
Victor dies to Pokey. This dies to nothing, of course. Gonna flood with more otters, so it probably doesn't even make sense to do that. He's gonna get so many creative cards he's gonna level though.
Stood on his balcony.
If he takes an Absolver, we're just like in trouble though. Maybe just Pokey the stack. Kind of like Pokey the stack. We have all kinds of dumb cards in our hand that like don't do anything. Like, sure. Nice shield, bro. Fantastic.
Is this even better than our other gear?
Completely fine with that. We just want to keep the clutter there. Mix them up a bit. More Absolvers is actually kind of bad for us.
Blasting off.
Raises his odds of finding it.
Scouts wear helmets. Gunners carry guns.
Mm-hmm. Or Rockfall Pass. Obelisk of Power. Fantastic. Or, I mean, he never took one, but still. This is kind of comedy.
Welcome to the team.
Don't. Ooh, now that's a bad one if one of his champs was leveled. They're not leveled, though.
Well, just do your best, okay? Persistence is key.
I think I just go for the mana efficient. I want to have a landmark out so I can unleash energy on it. And I have some ideas here. Some very cheap potential plays. I get this out with Spell Shield.
the heat. Just needs a few adjustments.
And fully Absolver and have Unleashed Energy for more over the top damage. The over the top feels unnecessary though.
Come on, baby. Full throttle.
In mini morph and a half. That is the worst play ever. Okay, this guy choked the bag. Kind of like I've never seen. I'm doing it here. It's for insult for injury. Like, you have Unleashed Energy. I don't know. I think we're always fine. You gotta use that in response. Like, come on, buddy. He's got the buffs. Respect it. You got 1 mana, dude. I thought he got us because he got us on the fork where it's like, oh, whatever I do, he just mini morphs, but then he just ripped it. I was like, all right, perfect. Easy game. For all the multi-regions and champs. There's more multi-region. Some cycle. Ooh, okay. Found Mr. Rumble as well. Peak is hilariously bad. I'll just take a charger. Could be a strong threat to deal damage on this round. Clean by him. But now we can develop this to just like threaten a block. And then also activate the Tenor of Terror.
Alien Lord Vega, destroyer of worlds! The hour approaches!
I think I might as well get the unit down first. What to discard here is tricky. I'm gonna get rid of a Pokey Stick. Conch can potentially get us more. We have another Pokey Stick as well. All of a sudden we're looking out of gas.
They've got
No problem with that. See if he puts anything in front of this Rumble.
Did you call me?
oh,
Yeah,
dancing
okay.
partner.
Got a poke here? Oh, a glimpse? That's still a lot of damage. We deal 7. We get this into pokey range. He will get another buff on the darkness, which is scary because now I can kill Rumble. Just slow down the level up.
Witness true power!
There's a great find to just
There
kinda
is
keep
light
that
yet
value going. When I'm summoned, create a darkness in hand. If you don't have one, that's it. Doesn't seem like the best card I've seen. We'll go for this, see if he darkness first. Okay, he opts to keep his unit alive, which, like, now we get an opportunity to just go even wider. Aloof? I always take aloof.
Requires my largest official.
I'm a big fan of some aloof gaming, right?
We'll make them pay.
Burn, baby, burn.
Gaze into the light.
Give up now.
Love this here, clears it up so I deal a lot more damage and I get the level up on the rumble. He goes for stress defense, it can't even save it. And him like blocking that way, normally like they'll play spells if they have them. They won't just like rush to killing the Vagar, so you kind of expect them to not have many answers in that spot. Super nice. Okay, you're up against Twisted Fate Swain. I like this hand a lot. The thing that I need to be cautious of, just Twisted Fate requires you to try to keep as little 1 health units on the board at the time as you can. Because of Make It Rain, we go Bomber Twins. If he Death's Hand this, we get a guaranteed 2 force removal out of his hand. Pretty strong play. If he ever just let us get 5. Ooh, is that big? That is big for us.
Packed 'em good.
Okay, he could just go for now like a Make It Rain or something. This he should have just played and blocked. I don't know about all that. Guy's getting a little overzealous.
For silver I talk, for gold I listen.
Here we just pass. We're down to just bank spell mana. It's like, that's like a misconception I feel like some people do, where it's like, not burning anything. All they're really getting is... Maybe I just grab Barrel Swing. I think just slow playing these first couple rounds.
Run while you can.
And just punishing him being kind of obvious with what he's going for. Like, we get to kill Barrel, we get Impact. Just getting some continuous chip damage is going to be very strong.
Like a fish in water.
Zap. Oh, Conch. Rudeness is activated, I think, right? Although we don't need healing here, just getting draw and burn is good. And it's just a way to, like, use our mana without developing more units into his, like, AoE. And as soon as he does drop, like, Twisted, we're just looking good. Go a little crazier. Drop a Mare and just see what I can generate. Big fan of the Bomber Twins because it gives us more cards for Rumble to get rid of. This guy is so greedy. Yes, okay. Burn your mana again. Bomber Twins to start.
We're rolling.
I've whipped up something special.
Deep breath now.
Making the game really awkward for him.
Clear off.
Plan. He goes for Make It Rain and it like
Why are you here?
clears, because none of these clear without the barrel. I just pokey it. Unyielding is kind of hilarious. Dark Trainer's actually, I think, good here because just getting a unit with Overwhelm off of it, like a vibe.
Almost.
Don't want to burn any mana. He's still not gonna take this. He's like being the most greedy I've ever seen about this whole Twisted Fate thing. It's actually comical. Okay, if he wants to play like Leviathan or something this round, I think that's fine. We lost a Mayor. That's okay with me.
Here comes a new challenger.
Alright, play it. Play it, buddy. It's been 20 years you've been holding on to this card.
Never lost a fair game.
You did it! You played Twisted! So proud. Wow.
Come on, baby. Eat a light.
We live here.
You're bluffing.
My research!
Messenger. I just really need the draw at the moment. I want to find Tristana as like what I'm like aiming for.
Destination in sight.
I think we just go full width of the board with like tenors. Just make ourselves hard to respond to. We have a lot of buffs in hand. Go a long way for us.
Battle stations. Brother, me before you? This world is positively uppity downity, brother. Darken the skies! Counterattack! Charmed, I'm sure.
Like he has to pre-commit spells is the good news. Like whatever blocks he takes, well if he doesn't block the 3/1s, is gonna be lethal, and then we just have like reactivity. Very big for us. That's good, unless this is leveling. It is not. Yeah, that's a huge lethal. Respond again. It was very risky to just go for a make it rain. If he has harpoon too, what the? We will just Predator here. See once again just what kind of response he's got for us. Cool thing about double tap is we get double impact from it as well. So he has to respond again, and then I could use, oh, I kind of wanted to show off that play. Like I could buff, use that for 2 burn because I get 2 strikes, which would have been like a really nice play to just push some extra damage. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those games. I had a lot of fun. We were taking out a lot of Swains on the ladder for whatever reason, and it seemed to be a pretty good matchup because we didn't lose any games to it. And we had a lot of nail biters, a lot of fun ones. I was very funny the game where our opponent preemptively mini-morphed. That was a nice save from potentially turning into a loss. So I was really happy when he just handed it to us. I had no idea what I would have done if he didn't do that specific play, but he did, and we got there, and it was fantastic. All right, guys, leave a comment if you guys made it this far. Let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. But that's going to do it for me, and I'll catch you guys next time.